The first thing I like to do whenever I'm working with AWS PowerShell is just to go ahead and run the import module AWS PowerShell command again. There's no real harm in doing it, plus it just makes me sure that I have loaded that module. Now, in order to create a group, at minimum, what we need in order to create a group in AWS is the new IAM group commandlet, and we're going to specify the group name. Now, for me, I've specified a path for each of these. And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. But for now, let's just go ahead and run my new IAM group, give it my path, and then a group name. And that will return successfully, and we'll know it's successful. Pardon me while I scroll up. We'll know it's successful because we get this ARN back, this ARN. It's an Amazon resource number, and that is unique across all of Amazon and specifies exactly your resource that you just created there. So that is good. So the next thing that we want to do, we want to go ahead and create a user, and we'll just go ahead and create my own personal user, Bryce.mcdonald. And when we run that command, we do get back the ARN, the Amazon resource number. And again, it's specific to me, and we have that create date, all that really good information there. And again, you saw that I used the path parameter, again, at minimum, in order to use the group or user commandlets. We just need to specify the group or user name. So what we did there, we specified a path as well. Now the path, I like to use it so that way I can sort my users and groups similar to how you would with a organizational unit in Active Directory. So by using a standard nomenclature, I use /techsnips, which is my organization, /users, and then /groups just for fun. That's just how I'm breaking these out. But this will allow me to organize these different objects into different collections. That way, if I ever needed to query them, or if I ever wanted to just do an audit on my environment, I wouldn't have to go through every single user and every single group individually. If I expand this region, here we have quick little snip that I've done, which allows us to look at all of the users given a certain path. So let me just go ahead and select all of this and run it. And so what it's doing, it's going to get our entire user list. And for every user in that user list, it's going to grab that user's name. So once we have that username, and keep in mind that object does return a few more properties, we're going to pipe that into our where object commandlet. So that way we can find everything with a path like TechSnips users. So again, this might not be too useful with only one user, only one group, but if we do have a larger organization, say with, a Chicago branch and a Dallas branch and a New York branch, it might be easier to separate these out into Chicago, Dallas, and New York users and groups. That way we can do individual audits at individual sites. So again, the result of that commandlet is returning my Bryce.mcdonald user with additional details about it. All right, so now that we have seen how we can create a user and create a group, let's go ahead and see how we can add users to groups. And again, AWS provides its real easy commandlet, the add IAM user to group commandlet. We just specify our username and our group name, and bada bing, bada boom, that goes ahead and gets added. Now, it doesn't return any data back to you by default. So what we can do just for fun is go ahead and query the group. So we'll use our get IAM group, specifying our group name, and we'll go ahead and call the .users method on it. You can get a lot of other properties, but here for what we want is just those users. And again, we see my user object. We have that ARN, that Amazon resource number that is unique. So if we did need to set any permissions or do anything fun with that, we'd be able to do that.